So this is talking about Markovnikov's rule, so carrying on from the electrophilic addition mechanism. And Markovnikov's rule is that if you're adding HBr or any hydrogen halide across a double bond which is at the end of a molecule, then it's more likely that the bromine will add in the middle. Here we've got the major product being the bromine, or over here we've got bromine which is on the end of the molecule, and that is the minor product. I suppose more generally it doesn't have to be on the end, it's the point that the bromine will end up on the carbon which has got most carbons attached to it. So this carbon here has 2 attached to it, so this is the major product, whereas this carbon here only has 1 attached to it, so that is the minor product. Now we can explain how this comes about by looking at the mechanism, and the mechanism initially involves the 2 electrons in the alkene bond making a new bond with hydrogen, and then 2 electrons moving on to bromide, so we end up with an intermediate, and there's a choice of intermediate. We could either have the positively charged carbon on the end of the chain here, or we could have the positively charged carbon in the middle of the chain. Now if it's in the middle of the chain, then it's stabilized, and it's stabilized by alkyl groups nearby. So if you've got other carbons attached to this positively charged carbon, then it will stabilize it. You might ask why that is, and it's because within these groups we have quite a lot of electrons which can actually slightly donate towards this positive charge. There's 2 electrons in this bond, there'll be 2 electrons in a bond to hydrogen there and another bond to hydrogen, so this here can provide some electrons to stabilize that positive charge. Whereas if we're looking at this example here, then it doesn't have at these points here, it doesn't have any methyl, ethyl or other alkyl groups which can stabilize that positive charge. So this is a more favorable route to go down. This will occur more of the time than that one, and so the major product will have the bromine joined on in the middle, or at least on the carbon which has got more carbons around it. And here's a multiple choice question: which intermediate and which product would form preferentially, which would occur more of the time? Okay, so that's kind of it for all the mechanistic stuff. I'm going to do a very brief tutorial on polymerisation next.